हे फ्रेंड्स, श्यामल कपाड़िया है आपके स्क्रीन पे। और आज हम लोग मैथ्स के 10th स्टैंडर्ड के जितने भी फॉर्मूलाज हैं वन शॉट करने वाले हैं। यो ब्रो, दिस इज ऑसम ना। चल, मैथ्स में फर्स्ट चैप्टर विल गो थोड़ा फास्ट। आई डोंट वांट टू बोर यू। विल गेट बैक टू ब्रास टैक्स। इधर उधर की बातें नहीं करेंगे, सीधा मुद्दे पे आएंगे। राइट ब्रो। फर्स्ट चैप्टर, बैंकिंग। Now, if I'm talking about banking, oh my god, how many formulas do you have? Only two. Oh, thank you. Only two formulas. Very good. The first formula, interest, is equals to n, which is number of months, n plus 1 into p into rate, principal into rate of interest, upon 2, 1200 to 1200 to into 12 into 100. And the second formula, maturity value, is number of months into the principal plus interest. फिनिश, गेम ओवर, आगे बढ़ते हैं। देखा, बिल्कुल टाइम वेस्ट नहीं जा रहा है। हाँ, यू शुड थैंक मी ना, कभी तो मेरे को थैंक यू बोलो। सेकंड, शेयर्स एंड डिविडेंड्स इज द नेम ऑफ द सेकंड चैप्टर। ये मेरे को सब बाय हार्ट नहीं है। इफ आई फॉरगेट समथिंग ना, प्लीज हेल्प मी आउट। शेयर्स एंड डिविडेंड। सर, इसमें कौन से फॉर्मूलाज है, कितने हैं? अराउंड 3 से 4 है। देखते हैं भाई। The first formula in shares and dividend is total investment. TI का मतलब total investment is number of shares into buying value. Buying value मतलब market value. Market value मतलब आज का भाव। तेरे को खरीदना है तो आज का भाव इतना है। The price of shares is this today. Second is dividend is equal to dividend upon 100, जिसको dividend percent बोला जाता है, into the number of shares into face value of one share. Great. The third formula is profit percent. Profit percent, it is profit upon the total investment, profit made upon total investment into 100. Now always remember, dividend का दूसरा नाम है एनुअल इनकम. अनदर नेम इज एनुअल इनकम ऑफ डिविडेंड. यस, सो प्रॉफिट परसेंट भी हो गया. ग्रेट. प्रॉफिट अपॉन टोटल इन्वेस्टमेंट इनटू 100. द फोर्थ फॉर्मूला इज एफ डी एम पी, एफ डी एम पी, एफ डी एम पी, एफ डी एम पी, एफ डी MP, that is face value into dividend percent is equal to market value into profit percent. Face value into dividend percent is market value into profit percent. Finish. These are the 4 formulas in the next chapter. Okay, the next chapter, chapter number 3, which is the third chapter, bro, help me please. GST. Actually banking GST पहला था, वो ठीक है अभी. Okay, now talking about the third chapter, GST. These are all, commerce related chapters. Okay, GST में the first formula is SGST और CGST. GST is equals to GST percent. GST मतलब 18% GST or whatever into the cost price of the article. GST value, GST amount is equal to GST percent into CP. Second is net GST payable. Net GST payable, it is tax collected minus tax paid. We can also call it as output tax minus input tax. Okay. We also call it as input tax credit. Input tax credit भी बोलते हैं उसको. Okay. tax collected minus tax paid. That's it. Coming to the next one, the next chapter, the fourth one. Which is the fourth chapter? I also forgot यार. How can I forget? ओके देखते हैं, चलो कुछ भूल गए तो देखेंगे, ऊपर नीचे कुछ करेंगे. हैं भाई, क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशंस पे जाते हैं, थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे. ओके, ना टॉकिंग अबाउट क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशंस, एंड उसका फिफ्थ चैप्टर भी ले लेता हूँ, वर्ड प्रॉब्लम्स. सेम, वर्ड प्रॉब्लम्स डज नॉट हैव एनी फॉर्मूलाज. सो क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन एंड वर्ड प्रॉब्लम्स में पहले तो जनरल इक्वेशन, एनी general quadratic equation, any general quadratic equation is given by ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, where delta is called discriminant, nature of roots, b square minus 4ac. जब splitting up possible नहीं है, x is equals to minus b plus minus root b square minus 4ac अपॉन 2a. ठीक है. नाउ अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस, नेचर ऑफ रूट्स में याद रखना, इफ रूट्स आर रियल एंड इक्वल, सेकेंड रियल एंड अनइक्वल, imaginary. Okay, if I say roots are real and equal, so I will say that delta is equals to 0. Real and unequal delta is greater than 0. Imaginary delta is negative, less than 0. Oh, I cannot think of anything else. बस हो गया. Then the sixth chapter, रेशियो प्रोपोर्शन, आई थिंक दैट सेवेंथ ना. ठीक है ना, चलना, बस सुनाना है ना मुझे, तू कर, तू थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे देखेंगे. रेशियो प्रोपोर्शन में इफ आई एम सेइंग, इफ रेशियो तो है ही नहीं अपने सिलेबस में, यू जस्ट हैव प्रोपोर्शन. इफ या एक्स इज द मीन प्रोपोर्शन, मैं एमपी लिख रहा हूँ, मीन प्रोपोर्शन बिटवीन ए एंड बी. तो रिमेंबर, ए पहले आएगा, एक्स बीच में 2 बार आएगा. दैट मीन्स एक्स स्क्वायर इज इक्वल्स टू ए बी. दिस इज द फर्स्ट काइंड ऑफ proportion, that is mean proportion. Second kind of proportion is continued proportion. नहीं, third proportion. If x is the third proportion of a and b, third मतलब बीच में लेना, x is the third proportion of a and b. The first number a comes 1, the second number b comes 2 times, and अपना third proportion लास्ट में एक बार आएगा. So product of the sum extremes is equal to product of means. b square is equals to a into x. Perfect. ये हो गया मेरा थर्ड प्रोपोर्शन. उसके बाद आते हैं फोर्थ प्रोपोर्शन पे. इफ आई से x is the fourth proportion of ABC, so A is to B is as C is to X. फोर्थ प्रोपोर्शन लास्ट में एक बार आता है. So AX is equals to BC. मस्त. फिर proportion, continued proportion. Change the color, bro. I don't like the same colors in life. It's new. Next वाला भाई. If A, B, C, let's take D also, are in continued proportion. CP लिख रहा हूँ. CP मतलब continued proportion. It implies A upon B is equals to B upon C is equals to C upon D. Cross multiply. BD is equal to C square और B square is equal to AC. That's it. The fifth one, Sada proportion. If I say A, B, C, D are in proportion, simple proportion, we can say A upon B is equals to C upon D, no repetition, is equals to K. We use the K method. A is equal to BK and C is equals to DK. Right? 5. Mean, third, fourth, continued, simple, Sada proportion. Okay, after this we are going to learn about the operations: componendo, dividendo, componendo and dividendo, invertendo, alternando. Okay, so just go through this and we are soon going to catch up with that set of formula. Alright, proceeding with the next part of this chapter called proportion. Yes, componendo. Now if I say, okay, let's select yellow. Okay, now if I say that A upon B is equals to 5 upon 3 and I want to use the operation called componendo, मैं शॉर्ट में लिख रहा हूँ. Componendo का मतलब numerator plus denominator upon denominator. Even on the right side the same operation will be performed. 5 plus 3 upon 3 which eventually makes it 8 upon 3. बराबर है? Then if in the same question I want to use dividendo, okay, dividendo. So dividendo means numerator minus denominator. It's a subtraction. Numerator minus denominator upon denominator remains as it is. इधर होगा 5 minus 3 upon the denominator. So the answer is going to be 2 by 3. And if I want to use their mixture, their combination, their amalgamation, which is componendo and dividendo, componendo and dividendo, so it will be numerator plus denominator upon numerator minus denominator. ऊपर प्लस होगा, नीचे माइनस होगा, याद रख तू. अच्छा, जो चीज तू लेफ्ट साइड पे करता है, द सेम थिंग हैज टू बी डन टू बैलेंस ऑन द राइट साइड ऑल्सो. यू कैन चेंज द क्वेश्चन ना, इट्स नॉट फादर्स प्रॉपर्टी. तो न्यूमरेटर प्लस डिनोमिनेटर अपॉन न्यूमरेटर माइनस डिनोमिनेटर. सो यू विल एंड अप विथ गेटिंग द आंसर एज 8 अपॉन 2, रिड्यूस करके आंसर 4 अपॉन 1. आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग? नाउ नेक्स्ट ऑपरेशन इज कॉल्ड इन्वर्टेंडो. अच्छा, इन्वर्ट मतलब रेसिप्रोकल, सिंपल. तो इंस्टेड ऑफ a अपॉन b, इफ आई राइट b अपॉन a, it will be 3 upon 5. And the next operation, last operation for our proportion chapter is called alternando, like the game Nintendo. Okay, the alternando मतलब क्रॉस में फ्लिप करना है. वन क्रॉस फ्लिप. It will be a upon 5 is equals to b upon 3. So these are the operations used in ratio proportion. The seventh chapter which I am talking about after ratio proportion is arithmetic progression. Okay, arithmetic progression में the first formula which we are going to learn is Tn, nth term. It is a, which is the first term, plus n minus 1. N stands for the total number of terms when you count, and d is common difference. Next, Sn, sum of n terms is n by 2, total number of terms divided by 2. First term plus the nth term or the last term. And last formula, Sn is equals to n by 2. Brackets में it is going to be 2a plus n minus 1 into d. ठीक है, Sn के 3 formula, AP के 3 formulas है. Now if I am saying that 3 numbers are in arithmetic progression, 3 consecutive numbers are in AP, 5 consecutive numbers are in AP, and 4 consecutive numbers are in AP, then obviously there has to be some what do we say, a formula. There has to be some method in order to remember these 3 numbers. Yes, so we have a specific pattern which has to be followed. जब भी 3 numbers AP में होता है, you have to select what I am writing. Okay, let the 3 numbers be a minus d, a and a plus d, I want in the same order. You can't even change the pattern or the sequence or the order, please. 5 numbers में ये 3 numbers get repeated, a minus d, a plus d. एक नंबर आगे डाल a plus 2d और एक नंबर पीछे डाल a minus 2d. 4 numbers in arithmetic progression will be a minus 3d, a minus d, a plus d and a plus 3d. Yeah, this is the end of AP chapter number 7. Chapter number 8 की बात करते हैं. Let's go on. Chapter number 8 is geometric progression. Geometric progression में the nth term का formula is a r raised to n minus 1. Second formula Sn, it is a r raised to n minus 1 upon r minus 1, and Sn का और एक formula है in the reversal pattern 1 minus r raised to n upon 1 minus r. The first formula to be used when modulus of r is greater than 1. Second when modulus of r is less than 1. Modulus of r का मतलब क्या कि r अगर -2 है तो mod of a negative number is positive. तो if I say mod of -2, it is 2 and obviously 2 is greater than 1. तो मॉड्यूलस लेने के बाद डिसाइड करने का that whether it's greater or less. And if I'm saying modulus of 0.5, which is half, and obviously half is less than 1. So this is an example for application of this formula and this one for this. Okay, geometric progression में भी अगर if I say that 3 numbers are in GP, my selection process will be a upon r, a r. 5 numbers are in GP. सर 3 के बाद आप 5 क्यों लिखते हो, 4 क्यों भूल जाते हो? I don't forget it. It is in connection with odd numbers. ये 3 सेम रहेंगे. Add, introduce one ahead and introduce one prior to this. And if I say 4 numbers are in GP, a upon r cube, a upon r, ar cube. That's it. This was the end of geometric progression. Okay, my next chapter which we are going to confront is the 9th chapter. Actually I also don't remember which is the 9th chapter. ठीक है, चल अभी ऊपर नीचे ले लेते हैं. मेट्राइसिस लेते हैं. Okay, I am considering this as the 9th chapter. I know remainder factor theorem and some chapters have been skipped in between. Chill man, bro, chill. मेट्राइसिस में देखने जाए तो कोई फॉर्मूला है नहीं. Okay, just remember one thing, that in matrices AB का आंसर is not always equal to BA का आंसर. That means commutative law is not always true in multiplication. हाँ, but A plus B का आंसर can be stated as B plus A का आंसर. Addition में commutative law is true, multiplication में commutative law is not satisfied in multiplication. Okay, ये हो गया मेट्राइसिस. मेट्राइसिस में अगर मल्टीप्लिकेशन करना है, if there is a matrix A and there is a matrix B, if this is of the order m into n and this is of the order A into B, मल्टीप्लिकेशन तभी पॉसिबल होगा when ये दोनों सेम होंगे. That means if n is equals to A, then only multiplication is possible. Then only multiplication possible. And तुम लोग का जो फाइनल आंसर होगा AB matrix will be this into this, that is m into B. Matrices में apart from this there are just sums which you need to remember, right? And matrices में identity matrix रट्टा मार के जहाँ identity matrix is 1 0 0 1 fixed रहता है ये 2 into 2. Null matrix everything is 0 in a null matrix, and that's it. Laws में भी और कुछ नहीं है. Addition, subtraction, transpose, this basics. Okay, the next chapter which I can confront is The next chapter is 10th remainder factor theorem ले लेते हैं. Again, if I speak in remainder factor theorem, nothing as a formula है ही नहीं. There is no formula in the chapter, just a concept. That what do? We put fx. Fx is our function, right? And if fx is a factor, if it is a factor, अगर दिया है that x is a factor of this function, if x is a factor of this function, then I can put fx as 0. And if x is not a factor, then a remainder will be given. Then fx is equals to that remainder which will be given in the question. So go through this. No formulas in remainder factor theorem or matrices though, just a small concept. फटाफट देख लो, then we'll push into the next chapters. Okay, proceeding with the next chapter, the 11th on the chart. Which chapter are we going to take now? Just hold on. Linear inequalities ले लेते हैं. Linear inequations, right? Now in linear inequations chapter, जब भी integer, whole number and natural number आता है, we use a lollipop method. And whenever you come across the real number sums, we use bubble balloon method. Okay, bubble or a balloon method. For example, if I say x is less than 2 and x is greater than minus 3. X is greater than minus 3 but less than 2. If I am talking about whole number, natural number, natural numbers में solution set will be just 1. Whole number में solution set, SS is not allowed in board exams, shortcut नहीं चाहिए. 0, 1. Okay, let's say equal to है. And integers में solution set will be -3 also, -2, -1, 0 and 1. और जब इसके नंबर लाइंस बनाओगे, ऑलवेज मेक 1 एक्स्ट्रा आगे पीछे. लेट्स से -1, 0, 1 एंड 2. फिर सेकंड वाले के नंबर लाइन, आई जस्ट मेक दैट नंबर लाइन इन अ सिंगल स्ट्रेच. मैं एक में ही दिखा रहा हूं तीनों का नंबर लाइन. मेक इट विद अ पेंसिल. -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we are going to use a lollipop method. Natural numbers का solution set is 1. तो 1 पे I'll just make a lollipop like this. Whole numbers का solution set is 0 and 1. तो 0 and 1 दोनों पे lollipop. And -3 से लेकर all lollipops. This and this. So this is how we make a number line for natural, whole and integers. All three of them are the same. Real numbers अलग है. How to write a solution set for real numbers? So it is going to be this way. X is such that x belongs to real numbers, comma, start हो रहा है -3 से, लेस देन इक्वल टू बीच में x होगा और लास्ट में x is less than 2. This is how I'm going to write the solution set in set builder form. Let's say this is -4, -3 and it goes up till 2. -2, -1, 0, 1 and 2. ठीक है? Okay. Out here -3 is included है. So -3 पे balloon and 2 पे भी balloon. Same numbers will have a balloon. मेरे को पता है ये less than है, but still join them. बीच में shade. Now darken this because -3 is a part of the sum. It's included, equal to है. Hollow रख, hollow because ये equal to नहीं है. Right? This is about the linear inequations. The next chapter which I can take you all to this path. This journey is 12th chapter. Let me think. 1 second. 12th chapter would be loci constructions. Okay. Loci constructions में कोई formula नहीं है, just a concept that if I say that the point is equidistant from only one point, we will be drawing a circle. If locus is equidistant from 2 points, ऐसा लिखा है from 2 points A and B, we'll draw perpendicular bisector. When it is equidistant from one side, for example, locus of a point equidistant from side AB, we draw parallel lines. And when it is equidistant from two sides, we draw angle bisector. This is a trick. We are on chapter number 12 and 13, mix. Okay, this is a trick. And perpendicular bisector जब बनाना है, remember we are going to do this for a circumcircle when you want to draw outer circle, and angle bisector will be making when you want to draw inner circle. Inner circle मतलब in circle, inscribed circle. Then my 14th chapter is section and midpoint formula, and 15th chapter is equation of line. Section midpoint formula में the first formula is section formula, internal division. So if I say I draw this, ये A है x1, y1, this is B x2, y2, and this is like P x, y. The ratio in which P divides AB is m:n. So therefore by section formula, x, y is equals to mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n, comma, 1 second, I'll just made a small error, upon m plus n, comma जगह नहीं है, मैं नीचे लिख रहा हूँ, my2 plus ny1 upon m plus n. Yeah, so these are the formulas of section formula. Now if I'm talking about the next formula, that is the midpoint formula. Okay, midpoint formula में if I say this is B and this is A, once more x1, y1, x2, y2, और इसका midpoint है P x, y. Okay, we have a midpoint formula, x, y is equals to x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. Yes, this is your midpoint formula. And in this chapter, if I am talking about the centroid formula, again x1, y1 मैं कॉमा नहीं डाल रहा हूँ, बोर हो रहा है, x2, y2, x3, y3. Then the centroid, which is the point where the medians intersect. Let's say gx, y. We have a formula gx, y. It is x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3, y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3. That's it. Okay, and go through this and then we'll talk about the section formula, chapter 15. Section formula, equation of a line. Equation of line में the first equation what you're going to talk about is the slope of the line. So हम लोग start करने वाले हैं with the concept of the slope, right? Slope of the line is given by m. एक फॉर्मूला है स्लोप का tan थीटा, ये कब यूज करने का? व्हेन इंक्लिनेशन इज गिवन. सेकेंड फॉर्मूला ऑफ स्लोप is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. When to use this? When 2 points are given. The third formula for slope is minus a upon b, that is minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of y. When to use this formula, sir? When the equation of line is given. For example, ax plus by plus c equal to 0. तीन formulas है slope के, याद रखना. Then the second concept is that when the lines are parallel to each other, slopes are equal. m1 is equal to m2. When the two lines are perpendicular to each other, let's say this is m1 and m2, product of the slopes is minus 1. So m1 into n2 is negative 1 when they are perpendicular. Then the third concept for slopes, when a line is parallel to the x-axis, guys, line is parallel to the x-axis. Let's say this is the line L, this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis. When the line is parallel to x-axis, slope is 0. And when the line is perpendicular to the x-axis, this line is perpendicular to the x-axis, slope is not defined, infinity. Then slope में और मैं क्या चर्चा कर सकते हैं? रुक जा. Slope के formula parallel to x, perpendicular to x. Oh, that's it. Now equation of a line, अपने syllabus में दो ही equations है. The first equation of a line is given by the first formula, y is mx plus c, and second equation formula is y minus y1 is equals to m into x minus x1. इसको बोलेंगे slope point form, and this is called slope intercept form. Now listen to me. जब भी दो पॉइंट्स दिए रहेंगे ना, दो पॉइंट्स, तो स्टेप नंबर 1, use the slope formula and find y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, find m. Take any one of the point and use the slope point form to get the equation of a line. Okay, that's it. And certain basics which are there in 11th standard, but I want you to remember those, very important. The first, orthocenter. Orthocenter is a point where the perpendiculars, which is the altitudes, meet, not midpoint. It's a point of intersection of the altitudes. Circumcenter, it's a point where the perpendicular bisectors meet. Perpendicular भी है और bisect भी करते हैं, मतलब midpoint भी है. Incenter, it is a point of concurrence of the angle bisectors. जहाँ पे angle bisector मिलते हैं उसको incenter बोलता है. And last is centroid. It's a point of intersection of medians. Okay, I want you to remember these 4 terminologies. The next chapter which we are going to encounter is 15 हो गया ना, और 10 बाकी है, बाप रे. Okay, the next chapter, let me think for a moment. Similarity. On number 16, we have similarity. ठीक है. Similarity में students, what you have to remember is, first exercise में तो कोई formula नहीं है, but there are only 2 tests. One of them is angle test. One of them is SSH test, जिसमें sides equal नहीं होते हैं, sides are in proportion. And third is SAS test. बस 3 ही टेस्ट है पूरे चैप्टर में. We have formula on area. Area of triangle ABC upon area of triangle PQR if the triangles are similar, if they are similar, then only you can use this concept. Then we can say ratio of the areas is equal to the ratio of their squares of their individual sides, or you can say BC upon QR the whole square, or you can say AC upon PR the whole square. Remember, this formula when to be used only when they are similar. Okay, the next one is I think area of model, that scaling factor 1:k, that is k is greater than 1. When k is greater than 1, the formulas which we use is length of model upon actual length, that is length actual is 1 upon k. Then area of model upon area actual is 1 upon k square, and volume of model upon volume actual is 1 upon k cube. This all formulas to be used when value of k is greater than 1. लेस देन 1 में उल्टा फॉर्मूला आ जाएगा. इफ k is less than 1 तो k upon 1, k square upon 1 and k cube upon 1 आ जाएगा. Okay, my 18th chapter is about reflection. If I say that the point A, B is reflected in x axis में y change होता है, तो पॉइंट होगा P dash A, minus B. If I say this point is reflected in origin, answer will be A, minus B. और अगर मैंने P डबल डैश ओरिजिन में उल्टा होता है ना, इट इज माइनस A, प्लस B. रिफ्लेक्शन इन x एक्सिस में y चेंजेस, ओरिजिन में बोथ चेंज. If I say P double dash minus A, B, it is reflected in the y axis. Y axis में x change होगा. Let's say P triple dash A, minus B. ठीक है. अच्छा, one more thing which you need to remember is reflection in origin x and y तो हो गया. x equal to 0 का मतलब ही y axis होता है. y एक्सिस में x का साइन चेंज होता है. y इक्वल टू 0 का मतलब x एक्सिस होता है, और x एक्सिस में y चेंज होता है. Okay, and if I last concept of reflection, if a point lies on x axis, we say that it is invariant in x, and if a point lies on y axis, it will be invariant in y. मतलब it cannot be reflected in x and y respectively. Okay, 7 chapters left. Go through this quickly. Okay, the 19th chapter is about what? Even I don't know. What are we talking about? We're talking about mensuration. Yes. Okay, mensuration में that is volume surface area वाला chapter, right? So many formulas to be done. The first formula is about cylinder, right? Cylinder में I'm not drawing a cylinder, come on bro. Volume of a cylinder is pi r square h. Then the curved surface area of a cylinder 2 pi r h. Total surface area 2 pi r plus h. I think that's it, yeah. And और कुछ नहीं क्या, एंड वॉट एंड. सेकेंड, सिलेंडर के बाद आता है नंबर कोन का. ओके, कोन वॉल्यूम ऑफ अ कोन सेम फॉर्मूला पाई आर स्क्वायर एच, बट आगे 1/3, सो 1/3 पाई आर स्क्वायर एच. कर्व्ड सरफेस एरिया पाई आर एल, एल इज स्लैंट लेंथ. Total surface area pi r plus l. and the slant length L square is equal to R square plus H square. That is Pythagoras theorem. Okay, the third formula, the third concept is about hemisphere. Hemisphere and sphere. Okay, hemisphere का वॉल्यूम इज 2/3 पाई आर क्यूब. स्फीयर पूरा होता है, कंप्लीट स्ट्रक्चर, सो वॉल्यूम इज इक्वल्स टू 4/3 पाई आर क्यूब. द कर्व्ड सरफेस एरिया इज 2 पाई आर स्क्वायर, and for a sphere there is only surface area, there is nothing like curved or total, it is 4 pi r square, and hemisphere ka total surface area will be 3 pi r square, right? After the hemisphere and the sphere we have sphere, bas ho gaya. Now hollow hemisphere and hollow sphere, that's it, and hollow cylinder, yeah, not to forget about that too, right? So अगर मैं बताता हूँ hollow hemisphere, the volume of a hollow hemisphere is outer volume minus inner volume, that is 2/3 pi common r cube minus r cube, right? And the surface area of a hollow hemisphere, it is complicated by hearted, 2 pi r square plus अंदर का कर्व्ड सरफेस एरिया 2 pi r square plus the ring shape from the top, that is pi r square minus r square. This was for a hollow hemisphere. Hollow sphere, okay, hollow sphere में क्या आएगा सुन. वॉल्यूम इज इक्वल टू 4/3 पाई r cube minus r cube, and surface area, outer surface area plus inner surface area, that's simple. Surface area 4 pi r square plus 4 pi r square, 4 pi common, r square plus r square, that's it. Last formula for this chapter. Okay, the next one is hollow cylinder. Yes. Okay, now hollow cylinder में we have curved the surface area. It's messy. The outer curved surface area, which is 2 pi RH, plus the inner curved surface area 2 pi RH. Add कर तो 2 pi R, 2 pi H, R plus R, plus ऊपर का outer circle pi R square minus inner circle, but into 2. So 2 pi r square minus pi r square. You can take out pi common. And volume will always be easy. Outer volume minus inner volume. Pi r square h, pi h common, r square minus r square. That's the volume of a hollow cylinder. Okay. Chapter having a lot of formulas. Yeah, exactly. 20th chapter is about trigonometry. Okay, now trigonometry में, if I'm talking about trigonometry and heights and distances, 20 and 21, let's pull in together. Okay, trigonometry or heights and distances में, trigonometry में sin theta, we just need sin, cos and tan. Sin theta is opposite upon hypotenuse. Then cos theta is adjacent upon hypotenuse. Tan theta is opposite upon adjacent. Then cosec theta can be written as 1 upon sin theta or vice versa. Sin is 1 upon cosec. Then cot theta is 1 upon tan theta, vice versa. Sec theta is 1 upon cosec theta, vice versa. समझ रहा है क्या? Sec is 1 upon cos, my bad, my worst. 1 upon cos theta and vice versa. Then talking about the identities. Okay, this is first, second. Now third, talking about the identities. Sin square theta plus cos square theta is 1. Sec square theta is 1 plus tan square theta. And cosec square theta is 1 plus cot square theta. Identities are pretty important. Okay, apart from that, you need to remember the values. Okay, some values sin, cos and tan ke at least values ratta maar. Sin 30, sin 45, sin 60. Okay, then major we want the values of tan actually, majorly tan ke chahiye, but theek hai, yaad rakh. Sin 30 is half, sin 45 is 1 by root 2 and sin 60 is root 3 by 2. Acha, cosine values are exactly the opposite. If sin 30 is half, you can also say cos 60 is half. Sin 45 is equal to cos 45, which is 1 by root 2, and sin 60 is same as cos 30, which is root 3 by 2. Then if I am talking about the values of tan, tan 30, tan 45, tan 60. Tan 60 root 3, tan 45 1, tan 30 1 by root 3. Remember this much in trigonometry and heights and distances. That's it. Okay, go through this and then we're going to go with the last shot. Probably the last shot. Graphical solutions में भी कुछ नहीं है. Now if I'm talking about the 22nd chapter graphical solutions, याद रख histogram and frequency polygon में just you have to be careful about the kink, make the class continuous, draw buildings, and center of the buildings gives you a frequency polygon. So graphical solutions, I'm not putting this as a part, bro, please. Okay, the next chapter, let's focus on measures of central tendency and probability. Probability से start करते 23rd chapter. Okay, probability. अच्छा, probability में just remember that probability of any event always lies between 0 and 1. Probability of a sure event is always going to be 1, and probability of an impossible event is always going to be 0. Probability का एक मात्र formula है, probability is number of elements in that event upon total number of elements in sample set. Number of elements in event upon total number of elements in sample set. Bas probability of something which happens, that is probability of A, plus probability of something which does not happen, which is called its complement, is always 1. That means you can also say probability of A if it's an event and B is the complement of an event, probability ka answer is 1. So these are called complementary events. Complementary events. That's it. Formulas mein itna hi hai. Then we have sums on coins, cards, marbles, balls. That's it. Tickets, right? Okay, but formulas dekhne jaye itna hi hai. And talking about the last one, bro, the last one, 24th, measures of central tendency में mean ढूंढने का अगर direct method है, raw data, it is sigma x upon n, summation x upon n. When frequencies are involved, sigma x f upon sigma f. This is for direct method. If I'm talking about assumed mean method, shortcut method, yep, then the mean d bar is given by x bar minus a, that is summation df upon summation f is x bar minus a will be known. And if I'm talking about a step deviation method, step deviation जहाँ पे t involved है, t for toy, मीन का फॉर्मूला है समेशन टी एफ. पहले तो मीन मतलब टी बार का मीन है, टी बार समेशन टी एफ अपॉन समेशन एफ. वी हैव अ फॉर्मूला एज टी बार इज इक्वल टू एक्स बार माइनस ए द होल डिवाइडेड बाय आई. I मतलब interval, that is summation tf upon summation f is x bar minus a upon I, the interval. This was about mean. बस मीन में फिर मिसिंग फ्रीक्वेंसी मीन डायरेक्ट सेम फॉर्मूला है. मीडियन एंड मोड. मोड में ऐसा कोई फॉर्मूला नहीं है फॉर आईसीएसई. सीबीएसई में देयर इज अ फॉर्मूला. टॉकिंग अबाउट मीडियन, median is represented by second quartile. Then we have Q1 which is called lower quartile, and we have Q3 which is called upper quartile. So when I'm talking about median, अगर n is even and n is odd, let's see what's the answer. अगर n even है then mean lies in half n by 2th plus n by 2 plus 1th term. This is when it is even, when n is even. When n is odd, directly n by 2th term. Right, are you getting this now? Okay. So n half and n by 2th term. This is the formula for median. If I am talking about lower quartile, Q1. Q1 when n is odd. When n is odd, the lower quartile lies in n plus 1 by 4th term. This is not n by 2, this is n plus 1 by 2, just a mistake. And when it is even, when n is even, अपना जो Q1 है lies in n by 4th term. Q3, changing the color. Q3 में when n is again odd, the median, the upper quartile lies in 3 bracket में n plus 1 by 4th term. And when n is even, Q3 lies in 3 bracket में n by 4th term. Remember the locations of median, lower quartile, upper quartile. And then we have standard deviation is Q3 minus Q1. Okay, or you can also call it as interquartile range. Interquartile range, जिसका दूसरा नाम है क्वार्टाइल डिविएशन. Okay, we don't call it as SD, we call it as QD, quartile deviation. Right guys, so go with these chapters, and these are the chapters which I can think of that the formulas exist, and I have given you all the things. Right, so all the best for the exam guys. Hope you're gonna do nice, you're gonna rock the paper of maths as well. 100 on 100 is what I expect from you all.